Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Hi.
Hi,
Good
how are you?
afternoon, morning, evening, night, wherever you guys are at.
It's
Welcome,
about 6:19.
619, where we're at. Heck yeah. Welcome, guys, to a brand new episode of the Grand Slam Podcast. And of course, I'm your host, Mr. Edgar, and I'm here with my two lovely co hosts, Robin Machuca and Will from South Texas.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I was a tad sick recently. But thankfully it wasn't the COVID. It wasn't COVID. It was more
Oh,
of
good.
a nasal and throat infection. So I drove and I
Which has been going around because I think I got the same thing from Edgar and Lori
Mm.
had the same exact thing, like same symptoms and all.
mhm.
And it wasn't COVID for her, it wasn't COVID for Edgar. So it's like,
Yeah.
See, I thought you were gonna make a joke, Edgar. I thought you were gonna say I've been a little sick recently, a little sick, and we'd be like, "Well, what was the matter, Edgar?" "Oh, I've just been a little sick, sick of the bullshit." And we were gonna go, "Ha ha, Edgar!" One of your classic Edgar quips, which you do from time to time. Sorry that you boys have been sick, though, or Robin, you
Yeah.
are sick.
yeah,
And
I'm
not like the
currently still.
1990s style of sick, where it's like, "Hey, man, that was
Hey,
sick. You
bro,
just
that was sick, dude.
Did I
Hey,
sick as
brother, that was a
fuck?
sick kickflip you just did on the half pipe with the shimmy and a shake." You know what I mean?
Holy shit! Did you just air? Holy shit! Did you
You don't
just
even
air
know
over
the
three homeless
terminology.
men? That's sick, bro.
Jesus, Robert.
Yes, I really don't see, Kyle, why you think this is a good idea to be jumping over homeless people. I didn't say it was gonna be. It would be a good idea.
Hey, Edgar, who the fuck's Kyle?
I
I'm
don't.
making a South. I'm making a South Park reference.
Oh. Oh, they're
Yeah.
still around?
Yep.
Oh,
They're
wow.
on season 25, and they actually went back to the format. They went back to the format where each episode is its own plot instead of the entire season kind of being connected.
Oh, it's interesting.
Yeah,
Well, that's
because
nice.
a lot of people didn't, me being included, did not like that format where they were all connected into one story.
Yeah, I could get that. I feel like they're better when they're just like one-offs, like
Yeah,
how they were before. Because I guess sometimes you'll watch an episode and you'll be like, wait, what happened? What's this? What does this mean? And so you'd be confused unless you see the entire season. But I feel
yeah.
like it works better as like a singular episode, like the joke of the week or the joke of the day. In
Like
that
they
Hey, do
were
you
like,
think they'll bring Chef back? I'm just kidding. I know we're not gonna.
I mean,
Yeah.
the
Anyway.
last time they brought Chef back was in the video game The Stick of Truth, and it was just audio clips of him because
Whoa.
the character comes back as a zombie and you have to fight. He's the final boss in the game. Spoiler alert! But um,
Oh, thanks.
the
Still
game's been
haven't
out for
played
a
it.
while. That's no.
Hey, the game's been out for a while, and guess how long I didn't know the ending until right now.
Damn.
Damn. I guess
I
I guess I should have expected it that eventually we were going to talk about it here on a gaming show. Not a game show. That's a completely different thing. Welcome to Map the Game. Anyway, yeah, okay. Well, I guess you heard it here first, folks. Chef's dead.
He's Zambi.
He was already dead. I mean,
Hey man,
Yeah.
I'm still on season 2.
um, I did get the because I was looking through on sale and the what's it called, the second South Park game, the
The
gold edition.
fractured but whole.
Yeah, the gold edition of it, the full version was on sale on the Switch. It was like
Ooh.
$20. So
Oh,
I
nice.
got that. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I forgot. Y'all have y'all are console players too. I don't participate in such garbage.
I did get this one game where right now it's on sale, and all the proceeds of the sales pricing goes to helping the Ukrainian Red Cross. The game's called This War of Mine, which is a game that's um, focused on civilians surviving within a war.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
so yeah, I need to play through it, but because I've heard good things about the game in general, but I recommend getting it to help out a good cause at the moment. So,
Yes. Absolutely. Because we're in this weird time right now and all this stuff.
I'm still waiting for the flying monkeys to attack because the Wicked Witch of the West is coming. I don't know who that is yet, but something. I don't know.
Something. Oh yeah, I did. I did.
Yeah.
This is the first time in a while that I've put my stream camera in color. It's always been in black and white, but now it's back in color, so you can see my hat. Also, I got this a
Oh
while
no,
ago.
Edgar, that's just because the world hasn't had any color in it for a while. We've all just been black and white.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see. I
strange
also
but
got
true.
this. Look at this thing. I got this little weird demon. It's an imp from Doom, from the Doom games. It's a little weird guy.
oh,
Yeah, he's a little
cool.
What's his
figurine.
name?
Uh, uh, um,
Terrence.
d-
His name is Terrence.
his name's Charlie.
Charlie. Okay.
Charlie
It's
the.
Is it is,
Charlie.
is it Charlie? Charlie Terrence? I don't know because I was asking you what his name was, and then Robin was damn sure it was Terrence. So Charlie Terrence.
His name's Charlie Terrence the Imp, the demon imp from hell. And he's a little guy. He got like bones or spikes coming out of his back, on the arms and shoulders and stuff. He's got a little face like that. You know, he's kind of a little guy. He just hangs out. He doesn't say anything because it's Charlie. You know how Charlie is. Charlie's just his own thing. He's in his own world, literally.
Yeah, just eating milk steak.
Milksteak.
Milk stick. Is that
Milk
that?
steak.
Yeah, I would like. I would like a milk steak. I'd also like your finest shell beans raw, please.
Oh god! Oh god! Are you? Is milk steak like just like cookies where you have the steak cut in pieces and you just dip them in the
No,
milk?
no, 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 no. Just put down milk steak. She'll know what that is.
She knows what it is. It's my usual.
No, she won't know what that is, Charlie. Nobody knows what that is.
Hey, it's not that nobody knows what it is. I mean, I'm pretty sure she's gonna know what milk steak is. It's a pretty popular thing.
But just put down milk. Like I'm gonna put down steak. Yeah, just put steak down.
Put some steak on.
Uh,
Excuse me. Oh yeah, but
I do the binging with Babish book does have a recipe for milk steak.
oh,
Not it's like not how it's supposed to be made in the show. He does his own take on it because he actually tried to boil a steak with milk, and
oh,
it cooked the steak, but it made the steak taste very bad.
I can imagine.
So
But yeah, but since you asked us how we're doing, Will, how are you doing now?
Oh, that's none of your business. I
Oh,
was wondering if no, I'm fine. I'm doing fine.
ah,
I'm living up in Austin. I'm working. Um,
ooh,
yeah. So it's good. It's good. My roommate hasn't killed me yet. I haven't
nice,
killed him yet. So
nice.
those are good things.
Those are
Um,
those are great things like claps.
yeah. Um,
I'm
also,
trying.
just a reminder, it is voting time in Texas. So, you know, on election day, if you need to go vote, because you haven't done it because of early voting. It's
I
ended,
think,
so
I have to go vote on election day, and they said I was going to do it on election day,
When is
there you go.
March 1st, I think.
oh, so like this
Well,
week?
let's not butcher this. What day is it? Come on. Go. Calendar? Nope, I can't pull up the calendar. It's just
Today's
not.
the
Because this is for people running for Senate. So
And governor.
and governor? No, I thought that was November.
No, governor. This is okay. This is the primary. So you'll be voting in Texas. We have a declared primary, so it's split between the parties, and you can either vote for the Democrat or the Republican, and you're voting for who you want to go in the general election. So this is all primary stuff. Also,
mm,
I would very much recommend looking at what is on your ballot because there are some positions where you need to look at the people running for them, and it's not just like you know easy because there's a lot of people running for some certain positions. So that's my recommendation.
oh. And are they having
My ma-
are they having
my
voting
ma-
places here in Kingsville?
yeah,
Or anything?
it depends on. I don't know what it is for college students, um, but I know that I have to go to the Ice House. I think is where my voting is. I'm not sure.
Mm, interesting.
Unless it's by the courthouse, but I think that's only for early voting.
Early voting. Oh, okay, okay.
I
Well, we'll
don't
see.
know.
We'll see when it gets to the day when it gets to that day. But today, what we're doing today is some stuff happened gaming related, other than that, and then we got the movie review. I think the only gaming thing that I could think of was just everything that we missed behind, and then today they announced Pokemon gaming, and
Yep.
they announced a new Pokemon, which by the look of it, I didn't notice. I had a feeling it was until it was confirmed from just watching videos of it, where it is this theme, the thematic theme of this new generation of Pokemon is Spain.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing too.
A lot of South American, Spain stuff, and so I kind of hope we see like Aztec form Pokemons or a lot of other stuff. And it looks like they're actually improving from what Sword and Shield
uh,
was.
oh God, yes. It's set in a Spain-like place. Yeah, let's. You get to play as a Spaniard who gets to capture Aztec-looking Pokemon. I'm going
I,
to name my character whoever the conquistador was that took down Montezuma.
oh God,
That would be Hernan Cortez.
Hernan Cortez. That's who I will name my character.
it
Uh,
looks intriguing. It's
I can make those.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and
I
apparently they
can
come
make
out this year.
can make those jokes because I am half Mexican and I am part Aztec. So fuck you, Edgar.
Allegedly.
As
Allegedly.
Allegedly,
allegedly half Hispanic.
allegedly half Hispanic. No, I'm half Hispanic.
He's allegedly a person and not just 15 raccoons in a trench coat.
That's the question of the day. Is Robin a human or just 15 raccoons in a trench coat?
Well,
We'll
I'm
never
voting
know.
for the raccoons.
10 of them are baby raccoons that form the arms and the legs, and 5 of them are adult raccoons that form the rest of the body.
And ironically, one hateful turtle who forms the skull does most of the talking. Mostly. The turtle does most of the talking. Mostly. They
so
mostly come out at night. Mostly.
there's new Pokemon. They showed the new starters.
Yeah. I'm going for the
Ooh, are we
dinosaur
having
one.
starters? I'd like some Southwestern egg rolls and some chips.
Chips. Who
I'd
doesn't
like
like?
a pulled pork egg roll, um, and
I haven't had
yeah,
an egg
pulled
roll in a
pork.
long time. Oh,
Well, we don't allow the pork to be pulled anymore. It's not humane.
Oh.
Well, of course it's not humane because they're not humans. They're pigs. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, 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 there are some terrible things happening in the world. Um,
Oh,
And
I
here's
want.
a
you were
segue.
saying, Edgar, about the starter Pokemon. Let's lighten it up in here.
Yeah, there's a water type. Well, they're all like the fire, grass, and water type. The water type is a duck looking one, looking like he might evolve to like some like Spaniard soldier or something. I don't know. It kind of looks like how he's gonna look. His name is Quaxley. Quaxley. That's the name of the starter Pokemon. Quaxley. Then we have a green cat. It's a grass type. It's a flip of a coin with this one. No one knows if it's gonna be just a cool looking Pokemon or it's gonna end up being fur bait. Most likely, it'll probably be fur bait. And the cat's name is Sprigatito. Sprigatito, gatito, Sprigatito, and
Spricatito?
Sprigatito, like
One
little
more time?
kitty. Sprigatito,
Again? Sorry?
Sprigatito.
A what?
Man, they missed an opportunity to go with green Meow mix, green mix, Meow mix. It's a double joke there because it's green mix is a salad and Meow mix is a cat food.
Meow,
It's
meow, 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 meow,
We
meow,
can't
meow,
afford
meow.
it. We can't afford that. Stop doing the theme song. Please don't sue us, Meow mix.
and then the last one
Their
is a fire
executives are
type.
cats.
Yeah, we can't have we don't have the money for the budget for
Meow
the Meow
Mix.
Mix. The last time we tried to do Meow Mix, they killed Fred, and
I have a question, Edgar. Is the fire type Pokemon just an angry turtle with a flamethrower? He's not a
he
Pokemon, he's just a turtle.
his name is Fuecoco.
That's
Fuecoco.
just Mitch McConnell with a flamethrower.
It's
Ah,
it's supposedly it looks like a crocodile with like two like stumps as feet, and it looks like a chili pepper. It's a cute little
He
guy.
does look, yeah, he does look kind of cute from what I saw.
And I'm like, that's the one I want to keep. I'm like, he's the cute one. The duck one's cool. I think the cat one's not my least favorite because it just looks like the starter of Incineroar. So, but I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, I'm interested. Because I've been playing Pokemon Arceus on stream and stuff, and I'm like, I'm having fun, and it looks like they're actually learning from what they did with Sword and Shit.
Sword and shit.
Yeah, or shit and shit. The last one they made, where it's
Yeah.
just like it's very formula, like very just by the numbers. And this one looks like they're doing a different art style with it. They're just actually going for it. So who really knows? Who knows what this new one is? We'll find out most likely during the summer because they are planning to release it by the end of 2022. So most likely this is the holiday game in November because they usually
Find
come
out
like around
next week.
November.
Find out next week on Dragon Ball Z.
Find
hey,
out.
find out next week when we can understand Robin because he won't be eating a chocolate bar, I assume.
I was eating bread.
Just bread? Ain't no butter on it. You just went to the store and said, "Ooh, I'll take a nice bread."
No, I have pasta with me, and I was using it. I
Uh-huh.
had there
Likely
was bread with
story.
it. I put some of the pasta on it.
No,
Okay,
Robin
well,
just likes to
you gonna
frequently eat
cook?
bread on his own. He's like, "Oh, look, I'm gonna just get a piece of bread," and he just eats it. He doesn't toast it. Sometimes he soaks it in water, just for the. He says it's for nutrients.
For
Soggy
nutrients, yes.
bread.
It's for fiber. I mean, how else are you going to poop?
Well,
You know.
Um, well, from what I understand, Robin, it's a natural bodily function. It just happens.
it just happens.
Everybody
I got to
poops.
get the blue out.
Everybody
I gotta
poops.
get the blue
Blue.
out, cheater.
That's the
That's a
new quote.
callback.
That's a new quote for Robin. It,
I got to get the blue out.
he's got to get the blue out. Da, 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 da.
First,
And
it's the fishman lives, and and now I got to get the blue out.
Gotta get the blue out. Robin's got to get the blue out. If not, then he's got to continue eating soggy bread. So he does it with his sandwiches too. He sogs them up in water, but he only does
Speaking
it in carbonated water. You were saying,
speaking of
Robin?
getting the blue out, Elden Ring came out today or this week.
Yeah, it came out Friday, and it's doing the same thing that that Breath of the Wild did, which um another game came out couple days before those big games came out, and it's Horizon. When Horizon Zero Dawn came out, Breath of the Wild came out.
That was
It was
so convoluted how you said that.
it didn't make sense of how I said it. So when
Hey,
Horizon
you remember the Tuesday before the Wednesday from last week where it was like a month but not, and then that okay. Well, that's
Ye-
basically
but you know
what.
like but you know with Horizon Zero Dawn it came out, but then a couple of days later Breath of the Wild came out and everyone's like, oh yeah, and I was one of those, so I never a lot of people just like shoved Horizon under the rug and just ignored it. And then Horizon Forbidden West came out, but it's getting overshadowed by Elden Ring, which is another game similar to Zelda where it was highly anticipated for a good while, and everyone's wondering what happened to it. And then when they finally got it released, it lived up to the hype, and now Horizon is under the rug again. I feel bad for it, but
I mean, it's making its money though.
yeah, it's making its money
I
though.
mean,
But
yeah,
it's just I just think of it like it's funny where like, oh, I feel bad because they release their games. They release the game, which is like it comes out days before the most anticipated game of the fucking year,
yeah.
2 times in a row. And it's like it's a funny but like a sad thing. But they still make their money. People still play the game. They still like the Horizon games. It's just like Elden Ring right now. It's like the overshadowing everything right now.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting till March because
Wait,
Kirby
did you
comes
just say
out.
a funny but a sad thing? Sounds like my love life. Haha.
But cha.
I got jokes. It's funny. Just laugh. Please laugh. Please clap.
Please clap.
I'm trying to make sounds and also clap because the mic's not picking up my clapping.
It's okay. It's okay, Robin. You're too busy eating soggy bread.
You're too busy eating soggy bread with a hint of garlic.
I mean, there
Hey,
might be
Robin, I got a quick question. Why do you put sprinkles on your toast?
Sprinkles?
I mean, sometimes I like to feel festive, you know.
So Robin likes to
Accurate.
live the Robin likes to live the life of a party, so he puts sprinkles on his bread. He's just like, man, this party
Hey,
ain't rocking unless I bring sprinkles.
I'm making a fucking turkey club. Let me get some sprinkles and put it on my bread.
Oh my god! You go to a
Hey,
Subway. You go.
I'd like to get a turkey club. Could you put some aioli on that? Yes, sir, we can. Okay, cool. Can you put some jam on that? Are you going for like an unfried Monte Cristo? Yeah. Can you put some sprinkles on that, sir? This is not an ice cream parlor.
Sir, this is a Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's. You go to a Subway and you're like, hey, can I have a meatball marinara? But can you add sprinkles on that too? You know, I just want my sprinkles on my meatball marinara. I'm not having a good Italian party if there's no sprinkles on my Subway meatball marinara or my spicy Italian BLT.
I
You
want to
know?
apologize to the Italian people. I do not support the sprinkles on a good meal. Thank you.
Same
Can I
here.
get a? Could I?
I
Yeah. Hi, Mac. Could I get a a fucking hell a meatball sub? Sir,
No,
this is
don't
a
worry.
Cold
We'll
Stone
wait.
Creamery.
Robin was just loading his sentence. It got
Can I
stuck
get
in the
a
printer.
God, it's such a good sound.
sandwich? What
With
kind of sandwich, sir? I'd like a roasted
computer goes to the blue screen of death.
Jungle.
turkey, please, on rye.
So the other day, um, me and Edgar, we had a party here at my place,
Yeah.
That
and
I was not invited to.
you were invited.
I was not invited. It was mentioned around me, but the words, "Hey, Will, if you want to come to this party, you could," were never uttered.
It's always implied.
I guess I'm the Ringo Starr of the group, huh?
Then who's Oh, I heard a knife come up. Uh-oh.
Also,
God, he's
Edgar,
got a knife! Run, Edgar! He's got a knife! You're
He's
closest
gonna
to him.
fuck. He's
coming
gonna
after
kill
you.
me. Please. I'll have my door locked. Leave me alone.
Edgar, I
Yes.
do have to say also, thanks for the tequila.
Yeah, I forgot to get the bottle back. I'll pick it up later. The kill.
What? Okay, but no, we had a party here, and we
Is it-
made
Oh yeah, we made the Jello shots.
we made Jello shots,
We made
and
we made Jello shots in the colors of the Ukraine flag, and then Robin suggested to put the Russian vodka he has as a fu to what's going on right now to what
To
Mr.
Vladimir Pooping.
Putin.
That's
Mr.
right. His last name is Pooping now.
With
Yes.
Vladimir
He
Shits.
is shit.
Yeah, so it's an fu to Vladimir Shit'em.
yep.
It's an FU to Vladimir Portapotty. That's right, Vladimir Portapotty,
Potty.
leader of poop in Russia.
Hopefully, I do want to say really quick, just to kind of before we get onto the movie, I have a little bit of Coke Zero left in my PlayStation cup.
I thought you were gonna say in your PlayStation. Like
In my
That's what I thought so
PlayStation.
too.
that's where you store your Coke Zero is in the PlayStation because, well, it keeps it nice and cold.
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
ever since Robin got the
Yeah.
PS5, he just changed his PS4 into a freezer. I don't know how he does it. It's not that big, but when you open it, it's just filled with cans. Not even filled, just empty cans.
Anyway, I do want to say, hope what's happening in Ukraine gets resolved. They're fighting a good fight. One of their cities has been heavily defended by Ukrainian army, which is very fucking impressive. Hopefully, they have a lot more luck like that.
Mhm.
Also, peace talks happening potentially with Russian officials on the Pripyat River in Belarus, on the border between Belarus and Ukraine. Let's hope that goes well too. And to close it off, Slava Ukrainia.
So this has been the Grand Slam does war updates. Not our favorite segment, but it's
a
apparently happening now.
It's a special circumstance, I
Mhm.
think.
Yeah, because
Uh,
at the same time, this is for all the viewers who watch us who are from other places or not from the U.S. or overseas and stuff.
Whether you're seeing this on YouTube or if you're here in the chat right now,
Yeah,
so
which if you're watching it right now live or you're on Spotify or you're on YouTube, wherever you're watching this, we hope you guys are safe. You guys are doing well and staying safe in these times right now, and hopefully this resolves in peace or hopefully anything resolves soon. Um, F Putin poo poo man, F that guy. But we love you guys, all the people who watch us, or any newcomers who are out of from the U.S. or anywhere. We love you guys, and we hope you guys are staying safe.
That was
Big-
beautiful. I also regret to inform you that, guys, the only person in chat is Nightbot.
yeah.
Nightbot, if you're watching this, hope you're staying safe, Nightbot. Even though I think you're just like an AI, but
Yeah,
hope you have
Nightbot will be The
Yeah,
kids
I
are
mean,
all right.
I mean,
But this is
hence
also
why
the
I added, if you're listening on YouTube or
yeah
so, because
on the
yeah,
YouTubes and the
I didn't want
Spotify's.
to burst, I didn't want to burst the bubble, but
Well, that's why I'm here. I'm here to burst bubbles and also make funny noises.
Beep, beep,
So
beep.
that's kind of my job. We've got to start this show.
Yeah.
Like
I
we
mean,
we've we've got to actually start this show. Edgar, did we play the intro?
my
Yes.
God.
Okay.
We-
I was just making sure because, like, you know how sometimes we forget to play the intro. Wouldn't it be hilarious if Edgar played like the Halloween intro right now,
oh my.
and he just cut us off right here. In the YouTube video, but I came in later after the intro of the Halloween episode, and it was me coming back saying in the YouTube video. So it's a weird cut, and I'm explaining it now. Um, yeah, that would be hilarious. Don't do it, Edgar. But if you do, it'd be funny. Anyway, we've got to start this show.
Yeah.
So
Well,
what what was I supposed to watch?
at least your request was simple. Unlike when Robin was like, "I want you to put these fireworks and all these other stuff and a xenomorph and just explosions everywhere and just
We
add
can't
these
afford a
transitions."
xenomorph. We,
And I'm
we, we
like,
can't afford a xenomorph. You know that, guys. The budget doesn't allow a xenomorph anymore.
We lost the xenomorph.
yeah,
We
he
didn't. It didn't get taken away.
he just ran
We
off.
lo- we, we lost him.
Yeah, I've heard he's like in Tampa Bay. That's what I heard he's in. Like
that makes sense. He looks like somebody from Tampa Bay.
he looks like a Floridian.
You know
Oh
what?
my God.
Normally I'd say something smart, snarky, but accurate.
But yes, as Will said, we're talking about because this show's about what we talk about movies too, and we did see a movie, and this time this was Robin's recommendation of the movie. So what movies did we watch today?
The movie that we watched was Saving Private Ryan, which we thought of this, or I thought of the idea 2 weeks ago.
Yes, this
Before we thought we didn't like it had nothing to do with what's happening right now in Ukraine, and it's just all coincidental. It's
we
yeah.
we
It just
because
happened.
we had the show delayed and because of other stuff and trying to get some stuff down, the gaming streams, and I wanted to keep it like consistent pattern, but we had the movie already like confirmed weeks ago before this happened, so
Yeah.
it's a coincidence, I don't know, um but we're reviewing it today, and that's what we're talking about today, Saving Private Ryan, which this is similar to kind of like The Sound of Music, where I most
Oh yeah,
likely
no, the two movies are incredibly alike. Please tell us how The Sound of Music and Saving Private Ryan are exactly the same, Edgar.
uh they involve uh bad guys. They
Yeah,
they
yeah.
both have bad guys.
Good.
They have two similar characters One was Mary Poppins, the other is Tom Hanks, and they
Okay, yeah, sure.
and Nazis and Nazis are in there in both movies, and um, so
Right, right.
there's some similarities there. Maybe they probably took place in the same time, both The Sound of Music and Saving Private Ryan, if you really think
I
about it.
don't think so. I don't think they took place at the same time. In fact, I think
But
they probably took about roughly 8 to 10 years apart. Maybe a little less than 8, but
but it's like it's like it's kind of similar. Well, not really, but kinda, but not really at all. Um, but there's the it's
so
what I was trying to say
I was about
before
to
I
say,
went on a weird rant. Um, this is a movie that most likely Robin will have seen multiple times, but this was my first time watching it from beginning to end.
you only saw glimpses of it. You didn't.
Yeah,
It's yeah.
which
So
I
I
have.
have seen this movie before, but watching it today, I just want to say that it was like the first time. Anyway, go on, Edgar.
I will say it was a pretty intense movie.
Oh yeah.
I, it dwelled up a lot of emotions in me, and it was so bizarre. I don't know, because Robin knows this, and I don't know if I've said this to you, Will. I'm not the biggest fan of war films. Usually, I get like bored or uninterested in war movies. Um, so like if you try to tell me to watch like Hacksaw Ridge or 1917 or other kind of war movies, I'm very like I don't know, like it's not my favorite genre. But something with Saving Private Ryan, I don't know. I think the way the movie was directed and how it approached the scenes, making it just like seem very grounded and like just like how kind of morbid it was.
Yeah. This was one of the few films. I think, yeah, it was one of the. I think it was one of the first films where it won Best Director, but then it didn't immediately win Best Picture.
Really?
It went to a different award. So Spielberg won Best Director for it, but then they didn't get it for Best Picture. I forgot who won it that year in 1999, but um,
Damn.
let
Because I'm
me
like,
double check that.
yeah. Because the thing that I really like that makes we're gonna jump over this because it's an older movie, so I don't seem like there's. Oh, thanks, Will. Thank you for the Prime sub for the
Here we go.
7 months. Oh my damn, 7 months. But who was it?
So
But
I
yeah,
went to
the the way a lot of it's presented, because as I was saying, we're jumping around because this movie's an older movie and there's not really that much to spoil. I don't know if it's super spoilery, but you know,
really like it's. I mean, it's based off of something true.
mm,
Uh, it's based off of these brothers who were in the Navy in the Pacific, and there were five of them.
The Sullivan
Um,
brothers.
yeah, the Sullivan brothers, and they were all killed on the same day. I don't think they were in the same ship, but they were all killed on the same day, and the mom had to get all five of their death cards in the mail at once. Um, and that's kind of where this idea of the story came from. So, like, what
mm,
the movie that we watched, the whole story of it is all fictional. The only things that's real are the events that took place,
mm,
except for the ending battle. That ending battle did not happen in historical uh, sense.
sense.
Um,
Mm,
but because I think in reality, that wouldn't. Then this is nitpicking, but like in reality, think I don't think that they would send a squadron to specifically go find this one guy because his 4 other brothers died. Unless that is true, I don't know. I'm still
Hmm.
learning about stuff, but
Yeah. Yeah. But I felt like that was like a really interesting, like, kind of premise for this story, which really
mhm.
just had like a lot of conflict between each of the characters that they meet along the way, and then the interaction with each of the people that you follow throughout the movie. And I another thing, I was surprised of like how many of like the cast, because I knew Tom Hanks was in it. I knew what's his face is in it. Matt Damon is in the
Yeah.
movie. I knew those two were in it. I did not know Nathan Fillion was in it. Paul Giamatti was in it. Um I forgot who else. Bryan Cranston's in the movie.
Yep.
I was like, whoa. I was like, what the fuck?
Vin Diesel's in the movie.
Yeah, Vin Diesel, the fucking movie. Vin fucking Diesel.
Um,
The family guy, the family guy, the
yeah.
family
Fam-
man
yes.
was like, we're family, you know, the Fast and Furious
Family.
guy. He was in Saving Private Ryan, and spoilers,
Um,
he's one of the first ones in that team to die.
who? Man, there was somebody else. He's the guy from Cheers. He's in the movie. He's
Cheer.
also in the Good Place. I forgot his
Oh,
name.
Coach.
No, not Coach.
Oh, Woody Harrelson.
Will,
Woody.
I swear to God. uh, it's gonna piss me off. The Good Place.
The Good Place.
Oh, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yes, there we go. Ted Danson. He's in the movie too.
Mm.
He's the guy that brings that has Nathan Fillion come over to being told that his brothers are dead, but
Yeah.
they got the wrong guy.
They got they got
I will
and
say,
go for it.
well, because I really like this movie as a war movie because like it just shows this is probably the most accurate, quote unquote, put that in quotes, accurate World War II movie that we're probably going to get ever. Especially that first 30 to 45 minutes of the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
When I saw this, I didn't think like it was gonna start off like that. Like I was like, oh, it's probably gonna start off with them talking and then they go to war and then because I remember like, oh, it's that scene where like everyone talks about where like they're getting off those boats and they're going in to fight. I thought that was like later on in the movie. That's like 27 minutes. The first
yep,
27 minutes of the movie, it's that and it is intense. Like
yeah.
holy shit. Like it was so much to like it was so much to digest of the
I
like
mean,
when they open you have like the details where the soldiers are like nervous or like they're scared for their lives, and
yeah,
then when those boats open it's just instant shots all getting shot open, and then you have that scene where the guy is looking for his hand and he picks up his hand. You have the one where
uh,
he's trying to walk but it's like guts are all out. They have the one where Tom Hanks is talking to this guy and he looks away for a second, turns around, the guy he was talking to, his face is blown off, so he has like a giant hole in his face. And then you have the others where it's just like
it,
their legs are falling
like
apart and
the whole opening is supposed to make you feel not
mhm,
overwhelmed, but well, yeah, overwhelmed. I mean, because
mhm.
that was the whole point of what Spielberg was trying to portray on the film.
Yeah, where it shows
Like,
like war is not a pretty thing. Like
yeah,
sure,
no,
like all this action is like, oh, action movie stuff, but like this is like it, people like people who go there it's scary. It's like you're not everyone's gonna survive. It's the reality truth of like a lot
they
of people will lose their lives.
they when that movie released in theaters, a lot of World War II vets went to go see that movie, and a lot of them had to leave after that first 27 minutes because that's how real it felt to them. They actually,
Mm.
there were some people who actually had some, not a whole lot, but some of them had a PTSD moments, not episodes, full on episodes. They had to leave the theater because that is like, to that, what they said, like, that is the closest to what the real thing was.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like,
So
and what I and the way it's that I like the direction it goes to. It doesn't. I love a lot of these scenes where it's really intense. The with the first 27 minutes and the final like 30 minutes of the fight that they have at the end. What I
mhm,
think makes it great is there's no music playing when the fight is going on, because
yeah,
the sound that you only hear is the soldiers talking, screaming, the explosions, the gunshots, and just the surrounding. It's basically the surrounding is the soundtrack, and then and there's those scenes where in other movies I'm not like a big fan of it, where it's like it's the I can't, it's hard to describe how those shots look, but where they're walking is kind of like this weird foggy thing that looks like if the frame rates dropped like drastically, like
mhm,
it's hard to describe it, but I feel that worked really well for this movie. It really was. It was very effective, especially
yeah.
since it was in the perspective of Tom Hanks, where it was just him, just it's like muted, the world, the whole everywhere around him is just
He's
silent, and it's slowly trying to get his hearing
dealing
back.
with shell. He's dealing with shell shock,
Hmm.
I think. Which or Will, is shell shock another term for PTSD, or is shell shock something else entirely?
Um, yeah, shell. I mean, at the end of the day, so shell shock is essentially PTSD. Um,
Hmm.
but they wouldn't have known it as PTSD then. They just
It
go, oh,
was
shell
yeah,
shock.
yeah. It
So
wasn't
like
called
a whole
PTSD.
bunch of things would have been lumped into shell shock. Like, anyway, yeah,
Mm.
it's pretty much PTSD.
Oh damn.
Because the term PTSD didn't become a full term until after Vietnam. Um, it was all called different names throughout history until doctors came up with an official name after Vietnam. But that's a whole other thing. Um,
Mhm.
I so we haven't gotten Will. What's your opinion on the movie, or at least the first opening part of the movie, at least?
Oh, the opening scene is it's epic. And I don't
Yeah.
mean that like, oh man, that's epic, it's awesome. I mean it's this epic scene of a lot of things happening.
Mhm.
You know, it's the fog of war. You get you get the explosions. People. Well, Tom Hanks, he can't hear. He has the ringing in his ear. It's the small things like the guy who's had his arm um, you know
Blown off. Yeah.
blown off from a shell, and he's in shock, and he like picks up his own arm, the screaming, the awfulness of it all. And then like the look, we have to have an objective, who's in charge, and it turns out it's Tom Hanks because he's the highest ranking person in the area that's alive. So it's an epic scene,
Yeah, and then
and disturbing.
and there's that scene where he's trying to drag like an injured person to safety, and then the explosion happened where he didn't notice until he looked back again that the body was just blown up to pieces, and he was just
Yeah.
carrying a corpse after that. And that whole scene was just, it was so much intensity that like it's like, yeah, you needed that breather after it ended, because it was like, holy shit. It's like, and I feel, and those and I feel like those scenes, those set pieces were really well done, because I feel like what saved it was just there was no music, and what was quote unquote music was the sounds, and
Mhm.
a lot of sound design was really great in this. A really good job on the sound design, and the characters were also really interesting. I mean, I like each of them had like their own personalities and their own little quirks that makes them different from each other, and then the discussions they have. I think the one scene that I liked was it was them just talking before the shit was gonna hit the fan, when at the ending of the movie, like them talking,
Mhm.
having those conversations before they were to, still when they were waiting for them to come in and get the bait. And
Yeah.
that reminded me of a Game of Thrones episode, which was one of my favorite episodes of the final disappointing season. Like it's the scene, it's the episode where it's nothing but all of the characters
Mhm.
talking before winter is coming, before that disappointment happened. But it's that scene that it's those scenes that I like where it's just they're talking and it's just like these small little things, but they're talking about this and they're trying to enjoy it because that's the last of what they're gonna enjoy because they don't know what's gonna happen after that. And
Yeah.
I feel like those little moments really just elevate like the scenes and the movies and what happens after, because you have like the sniper guy and you have the other ones that are like they lost friends on this journey just to find Matt Damon or the character Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
how disappointing going on this journey to find Matt Damon.
you're like, oh, I gotta go save Matt Damon. What? But isn't he? But no, you gotta save Matt Damon. But
I do. One thing, there's a lot of interesting things about, like, interesting note tidbits about this movie. So when they're all talking, at least when Matt Damon and Tom Hanks are talking, and Matt Damon's telling that story about the barn and all that stuff with his brothers,
yeah,
that was improvised.
really,
Yeah, he just made up that story right there on the spot, and they got
holy
into the movie.
shit,
And
holy shit.
yeah, and another thing interesting, going back to the beginning of the movie, is when they make it over the seawall, and they're over where they're at where the bunkers are and all that. And there's a bunch of surrendering Germans, and there are these two surrendering Germans. And the guy's like, "What'd you say? I can't understand what you're saying." And then they end up shooting them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy's like, "Look, I washed for supper." So those two were not German; they were
Really?
Czech,
Oh.
because historically, um, this is a historical accuracy. It's a little thing that it was actually kind of cool that Spielberg did this. So in World War II, Germany took uh, split the Czech Republic and Slovakia, because it used to be Czechoslovakia, but the Germans wanted Prague, so they annexed the Czech Republic, and a lot of the men there in the Czech Republic were forced to join the German military to fight in the German army. So, and a lot of them were sent to France, and they were fighting. Um, a lot of them reluctantly, because they didn't want to fight, but they had to. They were fighting in Normandy. Um,
Mm.
so it's a little thing that was just like, oh, I mean, cool that he did that. It also shows, how, even though we're always shown how shitty that the Germans are, that, hey, Americans can commit war crimes too.
That's the most awful message. It's like, hey, Americans can commit war crimes too. Dum 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 dum. The more you know.
It's the fucking
Boop, beep, boop, boo.
the fucking the fucking star. Oh god. Blah blah blah.
Hey, Edgar, are you able to add that in? Because
Yeah,
if you're
I,
not, it's fine. I was just
oh no,
asking.
I'm gonna add that for sure. Don't you
Hey, oh
worry.
wait, hang on. Do it at this moment then.
No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it literally when you said it. Literally
Okay, all right.
when you say it in there, I'm gonna put it on.
The more you know.
Boop,
Make
beep.
sure you, if the audio doesn't hear me, make sure you actually put the quote. Like,
I'll
take
put. Oh yeah.
like put the sentence and quote it, and then you have the more you know. Uh,
But
Oh
leave
my.
all this in too, us explaining what exactly we want, because that way
Yes.
there's context.
Without context, you're questioning it, but with context, it makes a lot of sense. But don't worry,
uh,
I'll make sure.
so even though this movie is a roller coaster of emotions, what is your what was I know Edgar, you said your favorite part of the movie was basically them sitting around talking and close to the end of the movie.
Mhm.
Um, Will, what is your favorite part of this movie?
Oh, my favorite part of this movie's probably. I'm thinking. This isn't a pause for drama. Um, it's probably okay. You know where they're walking.
I th- when they're walking, like, are you talking about
Just
right after?
just
Right?
just no, just the walking scenes. I like those.
Okay.
There's not so much shooting happening when they're just walking. Um, no, but I mean, I like the I like the scenes where like they're just talking, even if they're like the scenes where they're arguing with each other. They're giving each other a hard time. That the camaraderie scenes, that kind of
Mhm.
Yeah.
thing. Those are good. Um, in terms of like scenes I like that's a little more action packed. I like the scenes with Paul Giamatti where he's just like, I got the ankles of an old goddamn woman, because Paul Giamatti plays the most schmucky characters I've ever seen, and he does it so well. Just for he plays John Adams in the miniseries John
He's
Adams, and it's just like, hey, let's all have a revolution. What? Everyone hates me? Well, fucking hey! Like
I
that's
just
is John Adams.
I just find it interesting that Paul, like, to think that somebody of the stature of like Paul Giamatti would somehow make it into the airborne. And I'm just like
It's
my
actually
thinking
it's
is like he has to have flat feet. He has to have flat feet. But I mean,
he's
whatever. Yeah.
I heard it's accurate. I heard Paul Giamatti was in World War II. I don't know about you,
He
Robin,
was
but I
actually in
think
World War
I think that was a historical accuracy, even though I'm not a history major. I heard that Paul
II.
Giamatti was at the war there.
Uh, I think I would say that my favorite part is that whole sequence when they're at the radar station and Private Opum, the guy that is brought along as a French and German translator,
Hmm.
has had to stay behind, and you don't see the fighting. You're just seeing it from Opum's perspective, or you're just hearing it, and and then just that heartbreaking moment where the medic of all is the one that got shot and is dying, and then
Yeah.
um, but just that whole sequence of that going on to the medic dying and them trying to save him to then finding a German prisoner and then forcing him to dig the grave of the medic, and just that whole confrontation of like, do we want to, like, why are we trying to turn ourselves into what these people turned themselves into, the Germans,
Yeah.
like, where they were like, we shouldn't kill him, and I'm just like, and I'm kind of there, yeah, on Opum's side, like, yeah, it sucks that he may be responsible for killing our friend, but we're no better than they are for just executing them,
Yep.
and so yeah,
Hmm.
it's a powerful thing, especially that ending. And then you finally get then it's also that same moment where you find out um, who Tom Hanks' character really is, or what he did before the war started. And he's just a teacher.
Yeah.
He's just a high school English composition teacher.
And he was gonna teach baseball all the time, but
Yeah,
he was just a simple man. And those are the scenes that I personally really like, where it's just them like talking to each other, like bantering and just frustrated with each other, and just like stressing over of where they're at the situation, and wondering, is it worth it to go all the way to save Private Ryan, even at the end of it.
yeah,
and and I feel those scenes are like what makes even those those set pieces, those war fighting set pieces, much more impactful and much and I guess you could say entertaining to watch, where
Yeah.
it's like because you worry, you care for these characters and you worry for their own life, but not all of them are going to make it out alive. A lot of them are going to die, and
Yeah.
it's just like it's this time bomb of just wondering what's going to happen. And I feel like that was a really great. I really think those movies that inflict like a cause of war, or like has those kind of big action scenes, I think makes it better if there is those scenes of dialogue and talking, because it builds that character up and creates to make it entertaining. Also, it has to be with the writing, and I really think the writing was they did a really good job on the writing here on this script. And honestly, I wouldn't say I don't really have any issues with this movie like that I can think of. I can't I don't know. It's there's not much that really annoyed me. It's like
There we are.
Oh, what the hell? Hang on a second. Hold on.
uh-oh, what
Um,
happened?
Edgar, have you been here the whole time?
you were you talking the entire time? You
Yeah,
left you left a Discord and then you just popped back in.
really?
Yeah.
On the stream? I'm fine. My stream's fine. Like everything looks all
Yeah.
okay.
Because we were
Oh,
what I thought I was dealing with like some kind of internet issue, and then I was like trying to like, Will, are you there? And then Will started talking. I'm like, okay, so then something's up with Edgar.
yeah,
Really?
Edgar, you were just gone. You just got yeeted out of our world.
Yeah,
Apparently,
Really?
the
Oh
stream's still
wow.
good though.
Yeah, like
because
the stream's fine. Like I'm looking at the stream and I'm like I'm just talking
yeah,
here.
no, I had to go check also, and before you got back, I'm like, no, the stream's still going, and then you popped back in, but you kept going on your what you were talking about. I'm like, oh, what's going on? Hang on, are we in the
Yeah,
Twilight
Edgar,
Zone right now?
we were all confused. Wait, Robin, what if it was us?
Oh,
What if we got yeeted?
did we get sent to the back rooms,
Oh,
Will? Oh no.
did we get
Oh God.
sent? Oh no.
Hey, Edgar, can you just tell me it's gonna be okay and we can go home anytime we want?
Yes, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. You
And
could
I can go home
We
anytime
can
I
go
want,
home
right?
anytime we want,
yes,
right?
yes, you could go home
Okay,
anytime.
cool.
Alright,
I
cool.
just
That
need to
was
be assured.
that was weird. I thought you guys were just staying silent because there's points where like we were just like saying silent. So I was like, oh okay, they're just probably
No,
listening.
like
No, you
yeah,
were gone.
yeah, you
Like,
just like fucking were gone. But
you know what? I'm gonna pretend nothing happened. Yeah, Edgar, I also appreciate the set design and things like that. Robin, what'd you think about the music?
well,
Edith Piaf.
John Williams is just fucking fantastic, even though you barely get to hear much of his music
Mhm.
in this
And then
movie.
they feature what is it? Edith Piaf or Pilaf?
Edith Piaf.
Piaf. Yeah. She's great. I can't
Uh,
do it, but that thing, you know.
I
Um,
I so
Because I don't know
Edgar,
if you
I did.
go for it.
Well, I was gonna ask, like, so what did you think of like who did you think the old man was at the very beginning of the movie?
Oh, he looked just like Matt Damon when I saw him.
Okay,
Yeah, because when
I
I
was like,
first because
because I was wondering, like, did you think that it was Tom Hanks the entire time, and then you got to the end, and then it's like, oh wait, no, that was Matt
it
oh, I
was
just thought Harrison Ford had let himself go.
I,
Damon.
I, I, I technically at first I did kind of assume it was Tom Hanks at first because of like how it transitioned in it,
Mhm.
but it of how it does in the beginning. But looking at the face of the old man, it looked more like Matt Damon than Tom Hanks. And if I didn't know that Matt Damon was going to be in the movie at all, I probably would have just still thought that was Tom Hanks' character. I honestly would have if I didn't know that Matt Damon was in the movie, it probably would have made me think it was Tom Hanks.
I didn't know, and there is this other interesting thing of the behind the scenes of how they did the movie. Um, when so they brought Matt Damon in way later in like in production of filming. Um, and everybody in the main cast were going through actual military training. Uh, and it was almost like day to day. They had to wake up early and do all this type of military training just to get them into the feel of it as actors. And when Matt Damon came in, he didn't really. They purposefully didn't have him go through any of that. So when they met him, there was like more of a kind of a, in terms of tone from the actors, it's more of like a remorse of like, why am I trying to help you?
Yeah.
Like, you're just somebody who just got here, and I've been in this shit for so long. Because in reality, that's because Private Ryan is he's one of, like, his character got there during the war at Normandy. That was his first big thing. Whereas Tom Hanks and his group of people have been in this shit since North Africa, and that was in 1941. So 1941 to 1944, and it's, and
Yeah.
it's also prevalent of what Tom Hanks says, where he says, like, do you know how many people that I lost under my command? 94. And it's like, damn, he had a lot of people under his command.
Yep.
Like, and that makes you
He
question, like,
commanded a
how.
company.
Yeah, I mean, well, it questions, like, how long has he been in this war, and then you put two and two stuff together, and you see, like, Tom Sizemore had, like, a bunch of different dirts from from every different part of the world that he was in during this war.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
But I did say before we got cut off when we had that issue because I said I'm like I honestly really don't have that many issues with this movie. Like I can't really think of what I hated or what I didn't like in this movie. But that's
You know
just
what? I've got an issue with the movie. Here's my issue with the movie.
oh.
We could have had more food. There's the guy. So when Tom Hanks goes to the general, right? They're eating roast beef sandwiches and nice food, and he looks at the food. I could have had more food. Like, they got to eat something, right?
Yeah.
At some point, they're eating something. Come on, a little bit of Ritz crackers, maybe a slice of cheese. Come on, come on,
Come on. Come on. You know what we could have had? We could have had more
come
Paul
on.
Giamatti.
We could have had more Paul Giamatti.
Giamatti.
Yeah, just have him going.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, I gotta go walk my
Yeah.
ass around this
You
town.
know, now I hate this movie because it didn't have enough Paul Giamatti for me. It needed more Paul Giamatti and less of Matt Damon. Because imagine the movie being called Saving Private Giamatti.
Saving Private Giamatti. We did all this to save him. Well, shit, you make me feel like an asshole.
That's
All three of your brothers are dead. What? Shit, fuck.
again. God damn.
Again? Again?
Say it's the movie that should have been made instead of
it's the
Saving Private
sequel.
Ryan.
Well, now we're gonna make the sequel, Saving Private Ryan 2.
Steven Spielberg, if you hear this pitch, contact me. You don't have my number. I don't think you have
Paul
it, but
Giamatti, if you hear this, we need you, buddy.
we need
It's
you. We
gonna
need
be
you
the best
back.
movie you've never wanted to do.
Time to put the helmet back on, Paul Giamatti. We're going
Put it back on.
there.
We're doing Saving Private Giamatti because the people ask for it, and we're giving them what they deserve. They want more Paul Giamatti in Saving Private Ryan. It's Saving Private, or we'll do a Saving Private Ryan Giamatti cut where we add more Paul Giamatti scenes in Saving Private Ryan. So the movie will be
Saving
5
Private
hours
Ryan
long.
From Paul Giamatti.
Yes.
Paul Giamatti plays all the parts, including all the Germans.
He's trying to fucking kill Matt Damon.
Yes.
He has a
Paul Giamatti plays all the parts.
Matt Damon is the only character that's still in the movie. Everyone else is like CG'd with Paul Giamatti.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Oh, Tom Hanks is in for one scene, but just at the end.
Yes.
It's not,
and it's not Tom Hanks as a character. It's just Tom Hanks as Tom Hanks, and at the end he just goes, "Paul, are you doing okay?" And Paul Paul Giamatti just goes, "Well, shit, Tom. What do you think?"
No. Paul just said, "It's like Paul, are you doing okay? Get out of my head, Tom!" He just goes crazy.
Didn't invite you.
Get out of my head, Tom.
It cuts back to where Tom Hanks was, and he's gone. He's been in. He doesn't exist. He's just a figment of Paul Giamatti's imagination.
Tom
Paul
Hanks has been dead since North Africa.
Paul's like, what? What do you mean? You were actually, you were just,
and then the end, and then that's the mid-credit scene. The end credit scene is just Steven Spielberg, and he
puts on the Infinity Gauntlet.
No, Steven Spielberg just shoots up awake, and he goes, "Oh no, Paul Giamatti can't hurt me. I'm Steven Spielberg," and then he goes right back to bed.
And then you just see Paul Giamatti creeping out of the closet, and then it cuts to black.
And Paul Giamatti says, "Well, shit."
It's like straight out of Compton.
Damn. I wish I was in more Saving Private Ryan.
I'm wondering now, so since Edgar, it seems that because of this movie, we kind of helped change your perspective maybe a little bit on war movies.
Yeah.
And now I'm wondering, because you also say that you like Game of Thrones, and to me, I find Game of Thrones a bit boring. I can't get into it, kind of the same way that you couldn't get into.
Robin just really hates horses, so Game of Thrones not his style.
It's like, I'm trying to say, kind of the same way how you, Edgar, couldn't get into Woodward.
Robin has a restraining order against horses.
Yes, I can't let a Clydesdale come in to 15 feet of me.
You were saying?
I'm wondering if you would like Band of Brothers on HBO Max. It has a bit more talking stuff into it, and it's 10 episodes. But it is about the airborne during World War II. It starts off at Normandy and it goes on until they go to Germany. Follows the 501st. That's Star Wars. My bad. Hang on. This is the 101st, I think.
That would just be called the 101st.
101st, yeah, Easy Company. No, 506. Yeah. So the series dramatizes the history of Easy Company, 2nd Battalion, 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment of the 101st Airborne Division. It was created by Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg after the success of Saving Private Ryan. And so they wanted to do and it's based off of a book of the same name, and they wanted to do, they wanted to make a movie about a TV series about it, because these guys did oh my god, they did a lot of shit to get us through the war, at least from the U.S. perspective of it. They were very important. And I will say, like, if you like Saving Private Ryan, I think you'll like this a little bit. There is a bit more talking compared to Saving Private Ryan, but that doesn't mean it's not good. Like, it's pretty good, especially if it's something that's also created by Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg.
When did it come out?
Here's the thing. It came out in 2001, and the thing that kind of what's interesting about this in terms of television history, it aired. The first episode was September 9th, 2001.
Oh. And
a lot of people thought that after the first episode, and then 9/11 happened, a lot of people thought, like, I don't think anybody's going to want to watch this, because who would want to watch about war where we're about to go into war? And apparently, a lot of people saw it as like a patriotic thing, and it kind of grew their morality of it, and it actually made the show a lot better to watch. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'd give it a chance. Um,
Hmm.
it's pretty good. It also has some pretty damn good shots for like film perspective.
Yeah.
Um, there's also the Pacific. I, to me, that's not as good to Band of Brothers, but the Pacific is about the about it's World War II, but specifically on the Pacific
Hmm.
theater. Um,
Well,
but
that's
it's not as good as Band of Brothers in terms of storytelling to me. So
hmm. I'll probably check it out soon, or we might talk about it in the show. Who knows?
yeah,
Who knows? But I guess that's most of what we. Unless there's anything else you want to talk about of Saving Private Ryan before we get to our final verdict,
I'm ready to do the verdict.
Mr. Will.
Will.
What?
Are you also ready to just do our final verdict of Saving Private Ryan?
Oh yeah, yeah, sure. I'm sorry. I was just looking into horse law because I know Robin hates horses, so you know.
You
Yeah, but
can't.
let's
There's
do it
no
to
such
it.
thing as horse law. Yes, there is. As the man who knows nothing about the law.
You, sir, have no respect for the law if you don't know about horse law.
Robin just likes punching horses, so you can't get near horses anymore. But we'll start with Robin. Hey, Robin, what is your overall thoughts and rating on Saving Private Ryan?
um, I really, I really like this movie. It's a really good movie to really show, um, what this war was fought for. At least from the perspective of the Americans. Um, and it really gives you a taste of what it was like to be there on that day because there's not a lot of video footage of when they first landed on the beach. There's a lot of footage of after they were landing on the beach. um
Mm.
so there wasn't as much like gunfight. Like there was still shooting happening, but it wasn't like as bad as you would see what we saw in the film. But it also gives a new perspective also after visiting the actual place and seeing it, and even going down to see, even seeing the actual grave site with a memorial site of all those kids who were killed on that day. But um, I really recommend this movie. It's a really good movie to if you're very stagnant about war movies, especially World War II movies. Um, I This is a good one to start with. Um, it hits you like a fucking cannon at the very beginning of the movie, but then you really get to, because that's how it was. That's just what the reality of war is. So I would give this movie a 4.5 out of 5. Reason it was not a full 5 is because um, they had to take some artistic liberties, and there are some stuff that isn't fully 100% accurate, but it's like from a historical take, but
Mhm.
it's still really good. 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Nice, nice. What about you, Mr. Will? What is your overall thoughts and ratings on Saving Private Ryan?
It was
No.
fine. I'll give it a 2. Um, no, it was just a great movie. Not enough Paul Giamatti, not enough food.
I could
But
agree to
great,
that.
story. Awesome, epic, battle scenes that didn't pull any punches. Um, you know, uh, the chaos of war, all that. Um, it with the world as it is currently, events happening and all that. Um, it kind of hit a little harder than when I had watched it previously.
Yeah.
Um, because not that exact thing, but those kinds of things are happening now. Um, so yeah, it great movie. I highly recommend it.
Hmm.
Uh, I'll agree with Robin. 4.5 stars. Not going to give it 5 because not enough Paul Giamatti. Let's be honest, Paul Giamatti's really great. The
Yep.
only thing that could have made this movie better, the only thing, cameo from Danny DeVito. Um, don't know what he could have been doing. Just
He could
just walking around going, "Hey, it would be great." Like just that, just "Hey, move," and then something. I
he
don't
could
know,
have been
but four and a half.
he could have been a Nazi in the movie.
No. Danny DeVito's a good guy.
No, yeah, that's true.
Couldn't have been
Yeah,
that. Would have.
he could have been Tom Hanks.
You know what? The whole story, but Danny DeVito instead of Tom Hanks. Let's get that. It'll be part of the experience.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
part of the Paul Giamatti cut.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But Edgar, what about you? What are your thoughts there?
My overall thoughts is, as a movie itself of how it is, I really think it was really well made. I think a lot of what its strength is, it's the balance of showing these brutal scenes in the beginning and at the end, and all like in between with it, but it's always intertwined with these characters and the discussions and just them just chatting. It's what makes the scenes much more impactful and what makes it much more engaging to watch. And that intro scene is just very intense. It's super intense. Like it's hard, but it's such a well-made film where sure it's not fully really historically accurate, but as a movie that's depicting of giving its best depiction on how the war was, or how in general how it can be, it doesn't pull any punches. It doesn't pull no punches at all, and it's not afraid to just delve into that and show the grittiness of it, where it's just these things where it's a scary thing, and the people there aren't always brave because they're scared. They don't know if they're gonna live or not. We don't know if they're gonna live or not, and a lot of that even just attributes to the cast of characters that they bring in, with Tom Hanks and everyone else as part of the crew, even Vin Diesel. Um, it's such a really well made film that, coming from someone who's not really a big fan of war movies in general, like they don't really interest me, this was something that I really did like. And of course, I did wish they had more Paul Giamatti. It was a shame. He could have been in it for like another like 5 hours, but they didn't want to add him in it. And but at the end of the day, as of I actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna give it 5 stars. I'm giving it
Oh
five
damn!
out of five. I
Fuck.
I I it's really hard for me to think of what I did not like from this movie. It's I can't, I don't know. It's just, maybe I have to rewatch it again and see what I don't really like about it. But just watching it through, it hit a lot of the notes that I was
This
just.
is this is a war movie for
Mhm.
Edgar too. That's why it's a bit. That's why I'm very surprised that it's a
Yeah,
5.
it's a surprise to me because I'm not, because Robin knows I'm not big into war films.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation where I'm not a fan of 1917. I'm not a fan of that movie, but it's something that it does something that Spielberg does in this movie. It's something that I like in these kind of movies. It's kind of the reason I like Game of Thrones, because of the talks and what they go through, and how it is. It had some of that like small banters that really makes the journey great. It's like how I like the first Lord of the Rings. How that's my favorite of the Lord of the Rings trilogy,
Mhm.
and it's something like this. It's just the cast of characters that what really makes it so much more of a great and really great movie. And so yeah, 5 out of 5 stars.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well,
that was our review of the movie. But of course, we're not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. We're not done yet. We got one more segment, and that's our untitled segment idea. So without further ado, A 1, a 2, a 1, 2. The untitled segment. Untitled segment idea. So let's start with Mr. Will this time. Mr. Will, what have you recently been watching, seen, read, eaten, etc., 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 etc.?
Oh man, not much. I've been working, man.
Uh,
I I've been watching this show called Still Game, um, which is an old, not old. It's like from the 2000s. It's a comedy based in Scotland. I think I might have talked about it on the show before, but it's funny. Um, I recommend it. It's on Netflix. Give it a watch. But I really only watch like an episode or two, um, like before I go to bed or when I wake up in the morning early, and then I get to like watch one and then head to work. But I've just mostly been working, man.
damn.
Yeah, but it's all good. I'm making money.
Yeah.
Um,
Will's making that dinero.
Yeah.
yeah.
We have to find a way
Hey,
to we have to find a way to afford, the xenomorph somehow.
right. I'm putting all the extra cash I get into that fund, but prices went up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Xenomorph got a manager, and
Which
the
I don't know how
contract negotiation is pretty high.
I don't know how he got a manager. He never had a manager before, but I guess I guess he was just really angry or something.
Well, I
You
mean,
would
you didn't pay him.
Yeah,
I gave you
Yeah.
the money to pay him, and
that's
then you
true.
didn't, and then Xenomorph went to Hollywood, got all Hollywood on us. So
Yeah,
uh,
he got real Hollywood.
it's
He
just
had
like that situation with the dog handlers where we would say dogs, and then dogs would pop up on the screen, and they're not doing that now because you didn't pay the dog handlers. Again,
yeah.
I wrote you the check and you didn't give it to them, and they're just
I
not coming back.
I thought, the paychecks, I thought they were, I didn't see them as paychecks. I thought they were bookmarks. And I was wondering, why is he giving me bookmarks? I don't read. So I just left them in a stockpile of bookmarks in a shelf. I kind of left them in Robin's place because I was just like, Robin reads books. He needs bookmarks. So I'm like, why not? You know? But I didn't realize they were paychecks. But it's understandable. The
And I
xenomorph.
thought they were my allowance check, so I just cashed them and now okay. Well,
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you got them nice shoes, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think I got this PlayStation cup?
his
Oh, I fully thought you just stole that. Not gonna lie.
It's filled with pure beer now.
It's filled with pure piss.
That was
Anyways,
that got me, Robin. Good job. It's filled with pure piss. That just just struck my funny. But hey, Robin, what have you been reading, writing, arithmeticking?
I've been playing a series of different humongous games, which are kids' games, and they released them on
okay.
the Switch.
I was like, "What are you
Been-
talking about?" I'm like,
I've been
"Oh, I get it."
I've been replaying childhood games on the Switch, specifically Spy Fox Dry Cereal. That's the whole title of that. The Pajama Sam games, specifically two of them.
Oh my
And
God, Pajama Sam!
yeah, and then a
Holy shit, I remember that.
Freddy Fish 3, I think, is on the Switch, as well as Putt Putt Travels Through Time. Uh, so yeah, that's what I've been playing. I've just been playing those. And at the moment, I'm installing the Fractured But Whole on the Switch. So that's another one I'm gonna be playing soon. Again, I'm actually gonna try to play it and beat it. I didn't beat it the last time because I got pissed at this one boss, but this time I am going to beat it.
Nice.
Are you super serial about beating it?
Yes, because I the same thing happened with the Stick of Truth, where I kind of stopped playing it because I got pissed at a boss level, but then I went back and I beat it, and then I beat the whole game. So
Nice.
so
Nice.
I got to do it with this one now. But yeah. So Edgar, what have you recently played, watched, eaten, etc., etc., etc.?
I
Etc.
just
There, I did it. I did that one.
see. Thank you, Will. Thank you.
Oh my god.
But I just been playing Pokemon Arceus. I just been streaming that vid game for a while. But from what I've been watching, I recently saw a new Netflix show that came out called the Cuphead Show, which is based off of Cuphead, the game. And I like it. It's fun. I'm excited for the next season to make of it because it really ends on a cliffhanger, which apparently that was the plan before they ever were in production. So I really hope it comes out soon. Because it I was like, really? That's how you're gonna end it? What the fuck? But it's a funny cartoon. Like it's not like something special or something great, but it is a really great homage to like very old 20s, 30s cartoon animation where it's like in that style of the rubber hose era. It does a lot of things that are like references to like certain cartoons back in the day, like from Popeye or Betty Boop or like certain songs. Even like the title cards are always like how they looked back in the day, like from like Looney Tunes or old Disney cartoon shows they had. And it's a fun time. It's a really fun time, especially if you like the Cuphead music. The music's pretty great here too. Even the intro song for the Cuphead show, it's a really fun time. So if you have Netflix, I'd recommend watching it. It's a it's only like 12 episodes, and the episode with King Dice is a great episode. If you guys ever played the Cuphead game, but that's what I've been doing. Other than that,
I
just
never played Cuphead, but I've seen it played, and it's pretty intense.
yeah.
It's very rage inducing.
Yes, but I appreciate it because those guys mortgaged their home to make the game because they put their foot on the ground of really going all at it of like drawing them by hand like on cells by ones. So like everything's like hand drawn to like make it feel like that the aesthetic of an old 2030s cartoon show. So like the art style in Cuphead is just great. I love it. And I love how it's a homage to that. It doesn't do what the Cuphead show does cuz that is a lot of work. That is a lot of stress and time consuming for any animator that works on that. So they really did I think they did a really great job on the animation and the small little details they add on it to make it feel like it was authentic to the older shows, to older cartoons. So if you like older cartoons and you want to try something new, or just watch like a new cartoon, I'd really recommend watching the Cuphead show. It's a fun time.
Nice.
But that's what I've been doing. And by the looks of it, that's the end of the show. And of
The end
course,
of the show.
the end of the show. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you weren't able to catch us live on stream, you could always watch this in a couple of days later on the YouTubes and the Spotify. So you could follow us there or subscribe there, or you could follow us here as well because we do some gaming streams. We do a lot of other stuff. And if you just want to like chat with us, join our Discord. We do a lot of other stuff there. Follow us our social medias whenever we have updates or uploads on new things. Or if you just want to like know what we are up to or what we randomly put on stuff, you could follow us on our Twitters, which are gonna be all in the description below and everything. Um, but just the usual stuff. Follow us, subscribe to us, like everything we do, share it, show it to your friends, show it to your mom, to your dad, to your family, to your grandmother. Who knows, she maybe like this episode, we don't know. She might love it, she might hate it. It's all fun and games here, ladies and gentlemen. But of course, before we go away and fly away until the next time we come back, any last words from Robin and Will?
Slava Ukraina.
Yes.
Glory to Ukraine is what I said.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I also agree.
Yes.
Glory to Ukraine. With that, guys, thank you guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, night, afternoon, or evening, or whichever day you guys are at the time. Stay safe out there. We love you all. And bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Ukraine.
Ukraine.
Free forever.
Ukraine.
Bye.
I want the cheeseburger. Bye-bye.